Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we are talking about Love Island USA Season 7, the finale.
The finale. Listen here, y'all better love Blair because we did not reach our 9,000 subscriber goal with that video. And I said if we reach 9,000 subscribers, we would do Big Brother, or at least consider it, right? After consideration of talking to Blair, Blair really wants to do Big Brother for y'all.
I love Big Brother.
Right?
I've been watching Big Brother since the beginning.
Yes.
So
I think you only skipped one season out of all the seasons, I think. And I think that was last year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the only season you did not watch. So guess what? We will do Big Brother, right? All I ask is that y'all watch the reviews. That's all. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. I actually enjoyed this finale. Blair, walk us through it, please.
All right. So the remaining couples are celebrating being in the finale. We've got Alandria and Nick,
Okay.
Amaya and Brian, Iris and Pepe, Chris and Huda. Nick makes out with Alandria on the couch. He throws her down on the couch and starts making out with her. He tells her he kissed her at the blindfold challenge and she was someone that he was interested in.
When they was making out on the couch, that long making out session, did you feel something in your belly?
It's funny you asked me this because
Why?
you know my reaction while we were watching it.
So
I was not feeling it,
What?
y'all. I wasn't feeling it, mostly from Olandria's side. And I will give her the space that maybe she's nervous, maybe she has to get comfortable with the connection, or maybe I'm blind to it. I don't know. I was so Nicolandria high, but I just feel like she's holding back. I just really do. So
listen here, don't make nobody make you feel, Blair, that you're crazy. They crazy,
Okay.
right? Of course, how can you feel two people making out the way they was making out when one person just got their hands like this? Just
okay. Okay.
that's all Alandria was doing. Her hands was literally on his waist, on his side.
Okay.
There wasn't no there wasn't no touching of the hair, rubbing on the back. It just seems like, when is it gonna be over?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But who am I? I'm just someone that review videos.
Amaya and Brian kiss. Huda was talking about how she left her daughter, put herself first for once, and she's thankful that they met each other, and they cheers to that.
Start right there. Oh yeah, I'm gonna unload the clip on everybody this episode.
All right, let's hear it.
I held my tongue for 3 episodes. What do you mean put yourself first? I don't like when people say that, especially when it comes to children, right? Because I do think there is a space to put yourself first and things of that nature. But I will say, even though you went out of your way to be on Love Island, and truth be told, I have no beef with her going on the show to be on the show, do not make it seem like it was a huge sacrifice.
Right.
Or basically, maybe not sacrifice is not the right word, but don't make it seem like it was an unknown thing that you did not sign yourself up for. You get what I'm saying? This was not something that you had to do. You get what I'm saying? So when it comes to putting your kid first, I will hope that you would take, not take that much liberties to say it like that, to where it's like, you know what? I put myself first and I went on the show to where I crash out and I kind of make myself look like a fool and things of that nature. And guess what? I'm happy I did that. You should not be happy, because I don't know if you're leaving the villa better than when you first entered in, especially since you are a mom.
So Iris and Pepe are happy to be ending their experience together. She tells him he's her best friend in there. And from this conversation, Pepe was just kind of smiling at her, wasn't really giving her many words. It wasn't feeling like there would be much exploration outside the villa. I know they said they live close to each other. It'll be easy for them to see each other. But I don't know how serious Pepe's taking this.
And I say he shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like it just is what it is. And truth be told, I think when you're in that villa, it is like prison. And I think once Iris get into the real world, truth be told, I think her sentiments will change too, to be honest.
So it's bedtime.
Yeah.
The boys have a pillow fight. They do a commemoration for the ace dance.
Oh yeah, they did.
And Amaya and Huda.
Oh, you getting choked up? The show is over. It made you emotional.
I know, right? So Amaya and Huda are throwing pillows. Apparently, Chris knocked Huda in the nose.
Oh my goodness, he almost Michael Jackson Huda.
So I guess she went to go see the medic or somebody. She ended up getting nose tape, and she tells him, "Look what you have me looking like." So he's trying to sleep. She is counting down, talking about 3, 2, 1, poking him, trying to get him to cuddle her. And she says, if you sleeping is worth more than me being upset tomorrow, then that's the battle that you're choosing.
Ooh. See, here's the thing about this, right? I'm actually going to be on both sides of this argument right here, right? Huda is the type of person to where you just literally cannot have fun around. Like, it's impossible. Even when Huda was trying to have fun, why you gotta be the one that got hurt, right?
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, Chris, I thought you played basketball, not baseball. Why are you beaming a pillow directly at her face, right?
Because he don't like that girl.
You almost knocked her nose off. You get what I'm saying? But here's my only issue with Chris, right? Which you could kind of see the cracks, basically the cracks all in his foundation. If you made a mistake and hit her and you hurt her in playing, and that's the risk of playing, of roughhousing, is that somebody gonna get hurt. If you made a mistake, then you get up and you check on her. You just be like, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But what did he do instead, Blair? He just rolled his eyes in the bed.
Yeah, he did say sorry, but he didn't really like show concern.
No, like you go in there and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I ain't mean to throw that hard at your face, right? Now, Huda coming out with a full nose face mask and things of that nature, I think it was dramatic.
Yeah.
Only because literally the next day she didn't have it on. You get what I'm saying? I understand people are trying to say she just had that surgery less than like 6 months ago and usually take 2 years to heal and things of that nature. I understand that. But the next day she literally did not have the nose tape on. I think she did that in a way to basically like, you know, make it about her, basically get some sympathy. But I think Chris should have gave her some sympathy if it was by mistake. You get what I'm saying? To knock her nose clean off her face, you know? Yeah. Now, when it comes down to the whole basically poking him, trying to wake him up because you want 3 seconds of some type of loving and things of that nature. First of all, hold on. You don't even want to kiss me in public.
Yeah.
Right? But my thing is, here's my issue with Chris. Never send a boy in to do a man's job. You over here playing sleep. Where you could have just easily, when y'all had these conversations and things of that nature, you could have been like, well, here's what's going to happen. We're not going to play around in bed then. Besides giving the impression as if you are asleep, or that, oh, I'm not doing this, but, you know, Huda's going to be Huda with the whole, I'm going to count down from 3. And I'm like, Huda, who do you think you are?
Right.
The world don't revolve around you. You are nobody's son. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, they're both crazy, but I see Chris more as a boy, and I see Huda as someone that's just immature, crazy woman, you know?
Yeah, and I felt the same way. I was like, I don't know, Huda thinks she is counting down, just like he said, it made him feel like a kid.
Yeah.
But I'm for people standing up for themselves. Like, don't say like, oh, you know, I don't play about my sleep and all this type of stuff. No, she is being overbearing and dramatic, and she needs to chill the hell out. And, like, it's not just about you want to rest. It's also, I'm not interacting with you while you're acting like this. It's just not going to be productive.
Yeah, just say no.
Yeah. So it's the next day. They get a text that each couple will go on their final date. So Alandria and Nick are up first. They go to an island. They receive some messages from the viewers, all positive comments about them as individuals and them together as a couple.
Okay.
They both see that they miss signs throughout the way, and they're just now noticing that there could actually be something there between them. They have a pretty cute picnic set up for them, and in the last few days, or she says in the past, she fell in love with the potential of people instead of the actual person, and she knows that she repeated that in the villa here with Taylor. Nick thinks that, you know, basically, you know, you love what you want to see, essentially. So they're going to keep their pace the way that they're going on the outside. And she says that she's going to keep up communication with him on the outside and also visit him and his family in Florida.
Okay. Nick
appreciates her. She's his hard-boiled egg, hard on the outside, soft on the inside, and he wants to keep exploring this, and he does have love for her. Alandria also wants to see where this grows. They do end up kissing. Nick gets a message from his dad of how proud he is of him and also their relationship, and just saying how good relationships can start with friendship. Alandria gets a letter from her sister, and she ends up crying because it was, you know, very sweet, and she loves her family, and their families support their connection.
Yeah, listen here. This is the first time we actually see Alandria care about something, in my opinion, and that lets me know, like, oh, she cares about her sister, because, you know, Alandria's the oldest, so she probably feels like, you know what, my sister, my baby, you know, my first baby. So, which me and Blair had a joke. I was like, well, how come the mother didn't let the sister come? You get what I'm saying? The mother was like, that's my daughter, I'm gonna come. But I thought the date was forced, right? I understand. I don't care how many times y'all going to show Alandria sucking that man's lips or sucking his face and things of that nature. On this date, they tried to slow motion it up to try to give us some feeling. And I was like, listen here, you can make it as slow as possible. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? The date itself was thoughtful and very nice. And I thought it was a date that would have meant more for people that we seen basically grow their whole relationship from the beginning, right? But because this relationship was kind of forced on us, or we kind of forced it on the producers and things of that nature, it kind of felt like, oh, this is what the people think, and basically here's a letter from your family and things like that. I'm just like, they're not even that far in their relationship to basically get this type of date to make us invested outside of the Nick Alandria hive.
Yeah, I was just like, beautiful date, beautiful scenery, beautiful gowns.
Pretty much.
I feel like in their conversations, whenever they say it, and maybe I'm just getting annoyed of them saying it, of how it's, oh, we didn't see it, it was right in front of our face, or friends to lovers, and it's I feel like they're trying to convince themselves of it by constantly saying it. If it really was an attraction, a friendship to lovers, like I feel like there would be more of that connection and that spark being seen versus them having to say it to show that they're progressing. Yeah, if that makes sense. And I did see a clip of them. People were talking about, on After Sun, they were like in the photo booth and laughing and joking. And I did end up like watching that clip just to kind of see. And y'all, they're friends. Yeah, they're gonna have a good time together. They connect. They do have a chemistry. So that's why I was behind them before. But that love connection, that romantic spark, like it's not working out right now. And maybe it'll come for them after the show, which would be great. I think that they could be a great couple, but it's just not there right now, and that's why I couldn't vote for them.
Yeah, there's little certain small things that I would like to know about Alandria, especially when it comes to Nick. Alandria is from Alabama, and my family is from Alabama. You get what I'm saying? So one of the questions that I would ask, listen, this is a real review channel, but this matters. Hey, is Nick your first white boy you ever dated? You get what I'm saying? Because there is certain type of, what's the best word to say it? Once you're in your community, you're in your community. It's possible to exist in your own community while still not being part of the community and things like that. So I would ask the question, compared to Nick being from Jacksonville, that's different. That's very different than Jacksonville and Alabama. You know what I mean? So I would ask those type of questions, because I was like, that would kind of explain why she can love Nick as a friend, but when it comes to a romantic thing of like you actually like us being together, I'm not used to dating no white man. You get what I'm saying? So those are little things that I would like to ask Alandria. Me personally, if they are going to grow their relationship, I think it's only possible outside the villa. I think the more they keep trying to talk about this love of the friend story, as Blair's talking about, it comes as more fake and more fake, because y'all are the OGs. Y'all seen each other from day one. So don't tell me like it's been in front of my face and I didn't like see it. No, you didn't want to see it because you didn't like her. I understand that there's been stories basically saying Taylor came out saying that basically he told Nick not to go after Alandria because he liked her, and I'm just like, there's no man that's going to tell another man who have interest in a girl like, hey, don't go after her. Because
I thought Taylor came out and said he didn't say it.
Oh, I thought
people were saying it, but then he said
okay, then correction, thank you, because I was like, if y'all going by this whole idea that, oh, Taylor said don't go after her, I was like, that's probably the most lie I ever heard. If a guy likes a girl, he's gonna go after the girl. Yeah. So yeah.
So Chris and Brian talk, and Chris is telling him that Huda's energy's off today. Yeah. He tells Brian about what happened last night, and he shouldn't have to argue about him going to sleep. Brian agrees that it's a lot to deal with, but honestly, if it was Brian, he would just try. You have a date coming up. It could be a great date if you don't shut it down.
Hey, I didn't know Chris was in a relationship with Brian. I understand that's your boy, and I have no problem with you venting to your boy, but there's too much venting to your boy and not enough communication with the person you're coupled up with.
That's how I feel too.
So my thing is,
it's a lot of passive aggression when it comes to her directly.
Exactly. So if you was the type to vent to your person, but you always have open communication with your person, I have no problem with it. But Chris, what he does is he's going to passive aggressively basically act a certain way, or he's going to slope his shoulders. And Brian, I understand what Brian said in this moment. Basically, he's saying if it was me, I basically would just fake it, right? Yeah. But my thing is, we can look at it as, oh, Brian, is that what you're doing with Amaya? Possibly. Or he can literally just look at his situation with Huda and just be like, hey, man, like, don't think you made it this far, Chris, because of you.
Right.
We are Casa guys. We are there to basically disrupt what's going on. Hey, man, focus on the job and stop worrying about these feelings that you have and just fake it with Huda. It could basically benefit you at the end. So it's two ways that we could have took that conversation with Brian.
Yeah, and it did raise another question mark for me with Brian. Like last episode when I saw them, or the episode before when they had their hideaway experience, I was like, okay, there's a connection here. I still kind of felt like, I don't know if Brian is just looking forward to getting physical with Maya, or if he really like wants to be with Amaya. And I still kind of felt that way this episode, and him saying that did make me feel like, you know, he's kind of just going along to get along. He's really not saying much in these conversations with Amaya.
Never.
So, you know, maybe it's not for me to decipher. It's just to see who can win at this point in Love Island.
But you're right, Blair. It's two things. I think he's not saying much, and when he does speak, we just don't agree with what he says. I do not like the statement of these are just two people who are misunderstood who understood each other. I was like,
why don't you like that?
Because first of all, it's not true. Like, how, Brian, when did we ever view you as misunderstood? Like these are not two misfits and things of that nature. Amaya can probably get that off and things of that nature as like a pity thing. But Brian, we never thought of you as like, oh, Brian is misunderstood. We kind of view you as basically somebody coming in as like, please, someone like Amaya. So it's like the whole trying to make it seem like, you know, we had to find each other. I just don't agree with the conversations that they are having. You get what I'm saying? It just doesn't seem genuine to me.
So Huda is venting to Amaya, and she's saying how pretty much she just likes a guy who's all over her all the time. And she explains how he turned away and she slept cold.
Yeah, she said, I slept cold.
Sometimes she's tired, and she carries the whole conversation, so she doesn't think him being tired is an excuse. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Huda is not in the right mental space for a relationship right now. Yeah. Nobody is going to be able to fill her cup, because it is a cup that is never ending.
It's a cup that got a hole in the bottom.
It's an abyss at the bottom of the cup. So Huda needs to absolutely, Chris's sister came out and was saying that she needs to heal. She absolutely needs to heal. And hopefully at that point she can find a partner and not somebody to worship at the feet of Huda.
Well, so this is why I wanted to meet her parents. I wanted to see who was responsible for this and things of that nature, because even when Huda retells the story, she retells it in a point, she retells it in a way to where you could be like, that's not what happened. And make you question what happened. Like you didn't mention the whole tapping and poking him. You also didn't mention the whole like counting down and things of that nature.
She didn't say none of that.
You didn't mention the threat of basically, hey, if you don't basically do what I want you to do now, then you gonna be mad, and if that's what you want, that's what you gonna get. So I'm like, Huda basically do things to make herself look a certain way. And I think, truth be told, I don't think she's fooling anybody. I think Amaya is the only one nice enough to actually sit down and listen to her talk. But I think at the end of this season, as we are there, we gonna see a lot of people. We gonna hear a lot of Huda behind the scenes stories, and really some like, this is why I don't really fool with you, girl. Like, because it's just because she's tiring. Like I can feel them being tired of her and things like that.
And that's one thing I will say. Amaya is very good about remaining neutral in her conversations with Huda. She always lends a listening ear. She's willing to have the conversation, but she's not going to just tell Huda whatever she wants to hear. Yeah. I think that she could do better at holding Huda accountable, but at the end of the day, we're not really friends. No, I don't really know you like that. So, you know, I can listen to you and give you my perspective, but also you're in a relationship. Like, y'all got to figure this out. Yeah. So, and they get a text. It's time for Iris and Pepe to go on their date. Alandria and Nick return, and they fill everybody in on what happened on their date. So Iris and Pepe, they get on, it looks like a catamaran to me, and they go snorkeling. They talk about how they're both in LA, so it'll be easy for them to see each other and explore where their connection goes. They end up kissing, and that was pretty much all I got from their date. I think that they have a good vibe, but it still doesn't, I don't see it progressing necessarily. Well, I think they're just enjoying their summer, which is fine too.
Well, here's the thing, to like your point, Blair. When you have a finalist that is not closed off, or a whole, basically all four of them who are not closed off, it's kind of hard to be invested in a relationship that we just saw less than 14 days ago. So I think with them, and then we hear how Iris basically talk about Pepe, and basically in basically some sub shots, basically saying like, I'm picky. So it does make it seem like, oh, right now, me and Iris is basically living in a fantasy land. Both of our partners got sent home. We found each other, but we know that on the outside world, it's probably going to be much harder to connect. Even though we may live close to each other, it's going to be much harder to connect in the real world than like it does here. Right here, it just seemed like Pepe and Iris really just found each other on circumstance. It's like, you know what? I'm into blondes. You know what, Pepe? I'm into tattoos. Let's just be together. But I think the reality of them being together, I think they both know that like it's not going to happen outside the villa.
So they get a text, and it's time for Chris and Huda's date.
Oh, my goodness.
As Hood is getting ready, she's talking about how the physical part just isn't doing it for her. And Alandria is telling her that you really need to talk to him about what you're feeling for y'all to grow and to move past the situation.
And that's the thing about it. Like, Alandria got Huda fatigue. Alandria is supposed to be, quote unquote, best friends with Huda, as Huda would say. And Huda is basically talking about the same thing. Talking about it's the physical part, it's the physical part, it's the physical part. But it's so funny that it's only the physical part when it comes to you. Right? When he talk about the physical part as just a kiss in public, you want to talk about, I'm moving differently and things of that nature. Well, here's the thing about it. Shelly's not in the villa no more. You ain't got to worry about what she thinks and things of that nature. And I haven't seen y'all kiss outside since. So, like, you haven't done anything, Huda, to come and meet Chris in the middle. But Chris haven't done anything in basically expressing how he really feel and actually saying what his boundary is besides playing sleep,
Yeah. Playing sleep while he's awake too.
Exactly. Like, it's just weird.
So they end up having dinner on the water on like a floating platform. It was really cute and really romantic. It's a shame that this date was wasted on them.
To me, it wasn't wasted. To me, it was excellent. Okay.
So he carries Huda to the platform because there's these little like wet rocks they have to walk to get to the platform. And he talks about how he sees the potential in them. Huda says it's going well, but they do need things to they need to have a conversation about what they need to work on. She would like him to tell her what's bothering him. And I was, number one, happy that she allowed him to have the floor, even if she only allowed him to have it for a second before she jumped in.
Oh, yeah.
But I was happy she allowed him to have the floor because I want Chris to speak up and to really speak his mind.
Yeah.
So he said, communication about the kissing in public. She didn't listen to where he was coming from. And she wasn't understanding that he wanted to sleep last night. She got pushy. She caught an attitude. You counted down. And it made him feel like a kid. Huda, all the while, is low-key interrupting him, trying to get her point across, and he has to let her know, like, hey, you gave me the floor, let me just explain to you where I'm coming from. So when she finally gets her turn to talk, she says she counted down because she knew he was awake. She likes when a man cuddles her, and every night she has to pull him to touch her, and when he doesn't do it, she feels rejected. Chris says, you're acting like that doesn't make me... You acting like that makes me not want to touch you, essentially. And Huda says, well, we both did things that were wrong. Chris says, this is why I pick my battles with you, because of your reaction. She's huffing and puffing. She's got her hands on her chin. She's just totally irritated, got an attitude. And Huda, he says that he's not getting reassurance from her about the outside. And she says, well, we're still getting to know each other. She's not sure how things will work on the outside with them being long distance. She likes him and she wants to explore, but she's scared that she will try to do that and then get disappointed in the end. So he tells her, I know what you're leaning towards. Just tell me what you think. Now, before we get into the ladies singing and interrupting them,
man, what? She was the star of the show, to be honest.
Any thoughts about the first half of their conversation?
Yes.
Okay.
Number one, he was given the floor. Let me start with Huda, right? Huda is, I cannot imagine a guy being friends with a guy who have the same personality as Huda, right? Because number one, I wouldn't be friends with them. Right? Because they would give off the impression, as you gave her credit for, of, what is bothering you, right? But then sometimes as guys, we kind of know the end from the beginning because we look at patterns, right? So there may be conversations that you may want to have, Huda, or that you may want to lead and things like that. You know what? You have the floor. But really, I know I don't never have the floor. You get what I'm saying? Because when I'm talking, you're going like this. I'm listening. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why I'm like, I did not like what Chris said at the end of this, where he said, I know where you're leaning. Like, what do you want to do? Wait a minute now. This is time for a man to do a job. Never send a boy in to do a man's job. Why are you putting the ball in her court when you have some things that's bothering you? You get what I'm saying? So the first part of this conversation, I thought Huda was basically being Huda. I think he knows everything about Huda. There's nothing that Huda have done or shown herself that is new to Chris, right? Chris just thought that he'd be different and things like that. But truth be told, Chris is a handsome guy. So before I say this, I just want to get that out. Chris is a handsome guy. But you're not pretty enough for Huda, right? Because there's certain things you have to do every night. She said, when you don't touch me, when you don't cuddle me, I feel rejected.
Yeah.
How do I fix that? That means I got to cuddle you every night? Whole time when I tell you that I want to kiss out here in public, you over here find every reason not to. But yet I got to go to sleep every night holding you like you're a child. That's something that you can't fix and things of that nature. So I thought in this conversation right here, even though he's talking, even though she's fake listening, I'm like, Chris, say what's on your mind. And why are you trying to put the responsibility on Huda to basically say what you want to say? Mm-hmm. What is your thoughts, Blair?
Yeah, I feel like with Huda, we know she got a nasty attitude.
Yeah.
We know she doesn't take criticism well. We know she doesn't take being held accountable well. Mm-hmm. And we know that when it comes to having hard conversations, she's going to storm off or just act the whole behind.
Pretty much.
I mean, we know that, and not that we're dismissing it, but it's been acknowledged.
Yeah.
And I do feel like when it comes to Chris and you're given the floor, then you should be honest, direct, concise, because she's going to interrupt you.
Pretty much. Pretty much. You're right. 3 sentences.
Exactly. About what it is that you are experiencing, what you would like to see happen, and what you want at the end of the day. And he's not hitting those 3 points.
No.
Like, especially the last point of what it is that you want. Like, he doesn't want to be the one to have to call it off. He wants to be able to sit back, let her have her decisions. But the thing is, your actions are showing your decision. The fact that you don't want to cuddle her, the fact that all that type of stuff. And let me say, I will say it's warranted, because who wants to cuddle somebody with a nasty attitude? But then that's why you speak up and say, I'm not cuddling you because you have a nasty attitude.
Yeah, come on.
Not because I'm trying to sleep and I don't play about my sleep.
Yeah. and that hold on. And now we have to take a detour in our conversation and be like, I did that because I knew you was awake. Okay. like why? Like, my thing is, you cannot be with someone like Huda and be afraid of her. Right? Now, me personally, I wouldn't even go for Huda and things of that nature. But I'm just saying, like, with Chris, you can't pussyfoot around with someone like that. You can't play sleep. You don't play sleep. You say, get up off of me, go to bed. The room agreed, hey, for one night, can we not hear a lot of, effing, kissing, and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So the room agreed that. Why you gotta be the one? Why don't the rules apply to us? You get what I'm saying? Or you rather. So that's why I'm like, no, I agree 100%. Keep going.
So he tells her she has to make up her mind, and Huda says, I think we should just be friends.
Stop right there. Who needs to make up their mind?
Like, Chris, your mind was made up already,
and that's what I'm saying. Like,
and I don't. That's just very weenie behavior to me.
It's weak. It's weak.
It's weenie behavior.
Oh yeah.
Like, sir, everything, all your actions, you lost the light out of your face and the joy from your eyes. Like, you do not want to be with this lady, but you want to put it on her to end things. Like, I don't respect that.
It's almost like those relationships. I actually don't know if you experienced this, Blair, but it's almost like you with someone, right? And then, like, they want to break it with you, but they don't want to break it off. So they just do everything, like, basically for you to basically be man enough to break it off. I've never been in a relationship like that.
Yeah.
To where like, you, like, well, number one, I'm usually, not usually, I am the man in the relationship. So whatever I feel, I'm going to say it. But I'm usually in these adult relationships to where it's like, hey, what do you want to do? No, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I'm like, Chris, you 6'8", you too big to be acting this small, right? And I think what it is that just because I'm not focusing on Huda's behavior doesn't mean that I'm excusing it. Huda has been acting like a complete brat this whole time. Blair said something to me while we was watching the show, and it literally was like a light bulb. Blair was like, you know what? Like, Huda just don't even look as beautiful as when she first came in. I was like, you know what? I feel the exact
because
same way.
Because it comes out of your pores.
Yeah,
like when you're a nasty individual and when you talk about people crazy, talk to people crazy, like you just start looking nasty.
But
and it's like, honestly, I don't even want to watch you anymore.
But here's the thing about it, dude. You know what's crazy about that? It, to me, it's like she physically, like her physical appearance literally changed to me.
Yeah.
It's like, of course she looks the
yeah,
same.
she's beautiful. We know that. But personally,
it's like, to me, it's like, I don't see it no more, right?
And the shine done wore off.
Yeah. And now Chris is over here basically talking about, so what do you want to do? And now you let her, this is why I'm saying, you let her say, I think we should be friends. No, with Huda, you gotta be the one to shut the door, because now she can now retell the story of I decided to that.
Well, let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Do you think that, because I've seen some stuff online where people are saying like, well, maybe he had to let her end it because she would have twisted the story in whatever way by him ending it. I feel like he didn't have enough foresight for that. I think he just did the young man thing of, I don't want to be the one to call it
Chris
off,
Chris is a man boy. He's a man child. So to your point, I agree. I don't think he had enough foresight to think that far. I think when we look at the conversation that he had with his mom and things like that, I understand his mom and his family only saw up to a point. They didn't see the news scenes and things like that to where they can give their opinion. But even with the mother giving an opinion, she didn't give an opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, he learns it from somewhere. Where's the daddy? Here, listen here. I got to be fair. I made a video with Blair talking about, hey, maybe some of the issues that Alandria may have experienced, maybe something to have to do with daddy issues. The same thing with Taylor. The way that he's basically omitting the truth and things of that nature, not being forthright. Maybe he got daddy issues. Chris, maybe you got daddy issues to where you can't really stand up on your own 10 toes and be like, this is what I want. This is my boundary. This is my line. Besides giving a woman a man's job to do. Why is it Huda's responsibility to end something that you obviously don't want to keep going? That's why I'm like, I'm not giving Chris any bail out of jail for this. To your point, we already knew Chris did not want to be with Huda. My thing is, hey, you only been with Huda for a week. You can't suffer for a week for $100,000? Probably not, right? But my whole thing is, then say that. End it. We knew from the time where y'all recoupled at the fire pit that you did not want to be there. Yeah. Why didn't you pack your bags and go home that night? But it is what it is.
So Chris tells her no hard feelings. I already knew. He was just waiting for her to say it.
Why?
Why you have to wait for her?
Exactly.
So Huda said, well, if we're friends, like maybe we can hang out together. Things won't be weird around the villa. Like we can act like it's normal. And he says, honestly, not immediately. I don't have any hatred towards you, but I'm probably going to separate myself a little bit since we aren't in a connection anymore. So he gets up and walks away. She's crying. He ends up coming back with some water shoes on.
Yeah.
And she asks him if he's going to carry her back or you want me to walk. And he tells her, I'm not going to carry you. So she takes her shoes off and walks across the rocks.
That was the most dramatic taking off her shoes and walking across the rocks I've ever seen in my life. And mind you, during this conversation, the woman is singing whatever song she's singing. And for one, the lady scared me for one, because I'm like, who's that walking in the background?
Yeah.
And then they got this woman climbing the rocks just to sing a song while they're breaking up. Mind you, this is our finalists for our winners, and they breaking up on the last show. But this goes back to my point about Chris. He likes to date emotionally unstable women because he plays a part in their instability. You get what I'm saying? What's the point of you walking back and to not carry her? You already, you walked away already. You was already at where, she's going. Why walk back just to tell her, I'm not going to carry you?
Yeah.
It's those little manipulative kind of little boy things to where, you put a little boy in timeout, and then that's when he just start hitting the wall with his bat or something like that. It's like he don't know how to, just be comfortable in his own emotions, so it comes out in little passive-aggressive ways.
And I will say, the argument of basically, Chris, he completely switched off with Huda and he wasn't a gentleman anymore and stuff like that.
I don't believe in that.
I feel like having a nasty attitude, it comes back to bite you in different ways.
Oh yeah.
And I think that with Huda, I don't think that you can talk to and treat people any type of way and expect them to treat you with kindness the whole time entirely through.
Yeah.
And I will say he was definitely wrong for keeping up the facade until she ended things. Like he should have been stopped doing things for her because he knew that there was nothing with them.
Yeah.
But now that it's ended, I mean, no, he's not obligated to pick her up.
Yeah.
Like, if he wanted to help her walk across, he could. But honestly, you got a nasty attitude. Like, you'll figure it out. You're grown. You're a mama.
Yeah, you're a mamacita.
Right. So they get a text, and it's time for Amaya and Brian's date.
Okay.
So Huda and Chris return. Pepe and Nick tell Chris, you don't got to smile any harder than you are. You look really happy.
Okay. Pepe don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
So Huda tells Iris and Alandria about the date.
Yeah.
She wants someone to be obsessed with her. He didn't do that, so she ended things with him. Chris tells the guys that he was trying to resolve some of the issues, and she said she wanted to end things. He saw the red flags, and she's not someone he could see himself marrying anyway.
Okay.
Huda said that she didn't yell. She's leaving with a clear mind and as a better version of herself.
And this is the kids' play. That's probably why a lot of kids is into Huda, because they think yelling is a form of, which is one form of, but it's a basic form of disrespect. So she thinks I didn't yell because she only pointing that out because she wanted to, right? I didn't yell. I kept it cool, and now you got Iris in there basically saying, "Oh, good job, you did a good job." Basically getting a pat on the head because you didn't do the basic level of basically disrespect. But there's other higher levels of disrespect, like holding your chin up as if your head is heavy. You get what I'm saying? There's other levels of disrespect, cutting somebody off when
not
they're
huffing and puffing.
Huffing and puffing. You get what I'm saying? Basically trying to keep a facade as if y'all still cool while at the same time disregarding this person's feelings. So I'd rather you yell than do all these other things, because at least we on basic level one with yelling, but everything else, Huda has disrespected this man through and through and through. And Chris, don't give me that whole speech of, this is someone that I ain't want to marry anyway. Did you just find that out at the date?
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing about Chris, is that, hey, you always talk about how you attract emotionally unstable people, unstable women and things like that, and I have to look at you as maybe you play a part in that, because maybe those are the type of women that you could kind of get your way with. But the thing about it is, Huda didn't like you like that. Like, you're not pretty enough for you to basically Huda to come chasing behind you and things like that. So it's good that they separated, and it's sad that we had to waste it's sad that we had to waste a finalist spot on them. But truth be told, this was the highlight of the whole episode. I really enjoyed the finale because of their date.
So we go to Amaya and Brian. They have like a home kind of set up with couches, and they've got a little photo book. So they have their childhood pictures, and they talk about family traditions. Amaya cries when she sees the picture of her dad and her brothers, because her parents and her family are her world. We get pictures of them together, and Amaya reveals that she does her hair when she goes to bed. She's always happy with him, and he's never made her cry tears of sadness. He tells her that he actually sprayed on cologne before they took their like promo pictures together. He likes her energy. She lifts his mood whenever he's around her. He asks her to close off, and she says yes. And from this date, I knew they were our winners, because this was a similar date to Serena and Cordell's, to where we got to see all the flashback, the pictures, their journey, and then they're the only ones with fireworks in the background when they're kissing.
I was like,
I'm like, come on now, y'all gave it away.
Listen,
but it was really cute. I really did like their date.
I'm happy out of this group. I'm gonna make sure I pick my words specifically. I'm happy that out of this group of people, a finalist, that Amaya won. Right? It's kind of hard for me to include Brian in that, because we kind of decided that Amaya was going to win, no matter who she was going to be attached to. But the charity case needs to stop. We need to respect this woman as a woman, grown woman that's in society. Right? Literally every scene of this finale was something comes through, a text come through, some like people returning from a date. The first thing you hearing is Amaya screeching, yelling to the top of her lungs. Why she's yelling? Maybe she's overstimulated. I don't know, right? But one thing I'm happy about this show being the last episode, I don't have to hear her scream as excitement anymore. I don't have to see the pity party that we decided to throw for this woman and things like that. I believe that out of this group, guess what? Amaya is the best one out of all of them. But at the end of the day, let's not act like, you know what, to me personally watching it, let's not act like Amaya did not have a little game and basically acting the way she's acting. But I'm happy amongst them, she won. But I'm not buying the whole Amaya papaya hive thing. Sorry, can't do it.
Amaya and Brian return, and they reveal to everyone that they are exclusive.
Okay.
So it's bedtime. Chris sleeps outside. Huda doesn't feel sad, and she feels like he's being dramatic about sleeping outside because they didn't end on bad terms.
I ain't gonna hold you. I actually agree with Huda right here.
I don't agree with Huda. We're not together. Why am I sleeping with you? I actually don't want to be next to you, and I haven't wanted to be next to you for a while now. So I don't think it's dramatic. I think he literally just wants to be away from Huda.
I think Chris is the type of person to do things to get a reaction, right?
Maybe.
And that's why I say I agree. Hey, you have literally, it's the last night. You can literally just sleep in, like, you went into bed last night and then sleep with her and things of that nature, talk about like having sex. You can literally sleep in the bed, but he's like the one to be like, I'm gonna sleep outside. And that's why I'm just like, yeah, Chris, I'm kind of over you, but truth be told, I've been over Huda this whole time. So
the ladies have a spa day, breakfast and mimosas. They get massages. Iris is grateful for Pepe. He's been by her side since she got here.
Yeah.
And, you know, before they were romantically into each other. Huda didn't find a romantic connection, but she did find friendship and lessons. Alandria is ready to show Nick how she values him. He speaks very highly of her, and she's never had that before. And Amaya feels like she's in a fairy tale when it comes to Brian. And I will say this with Alandria. I think that by her saying that she's really never had someone in a relationship speak highly of her, I think that goes back to when we saw like Jalen like being vocally interested in her, Nick like telling her all of these great things about herself. Maybe that is something that is uncomfortable for her to sit in. I know for you, like, you're not a fan of compliments.
I don't like compliments.
And maybe for her, like, just that direct forwardness of someone like speaking highly of you and being attracted to you is just something that she kind of doesn't know what to do with, and that's why she does the aw when it's just like, girl, say something back, like, continue the conversation.
But one, I don't want to have a compliment off, right? But also, I really don't. The reason why I don't like compliments because I don't know what to do with them outside of just saying thank you. You get what I'm saying? Because if I do put on a nice shirt, if I do put on something good and things like that, or if I do something, I did it for me, and I don't really like look for outside validation in anything. Even in my marriage, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, okay, I know the shirt look good. I brought it, or like I know I'm good at this. I do it, you know. so it's like I validate myself first.
Right.
So when someone does compliment, even when my wife compliments, it feels like overpraise. I already praise myself enough. You get what I'm saying? I already feel good enough. So when Blair comes and say, "Oh, you look good at that shirt," I say, "Okay, we ain't gotta be prideful now." You know what I mean? But I do agree with you, but I disagree only with this part. I don't think it's solely about she never been with someone who speaks highly of her in that way. I think the reason why she feels that way is because this Nick Alandria thing feels so forced. So it feels like all of the compliments, matter of fact, it just came to mind. All of their conversations, they are trying to have 6 weeks of conversations within 3 episodes. So it just feels like whenever Nick is talking to Alandria, it just feels like he's playing catch up with compliments, catch up with what he always thought about her. You know what? Matter of fact, it was you that I kissed that with blindfold. They're like, you know, oh yeah, I always thought of you, you know, I'm kissing you. It's like, it just feels very fast. You get what I'm saying? That's why whenever whenever Alandria speaks of their relationship, it's almost as if she's speaking about their relationship and she's outside of the relationship. It's like she's not speaking as if she's part of it, because I think it's just a fast moving train that before you know it, Sierra's out the villa and they are an item. I think it's just too fast.
So everyone is all dressed for finale night. They do the little flash mob dance. They tell each other how they feel about each other and their connections. Chris and Huda did actually write something. Huda said that he showed her more than physical attraction and being what a real man was. She had to learn to have a more of a emotional connection than just physical. I don't think she learned the lesson.
Stop right there.
Okay.
She did not write that. Because your problem with it was physical, and if he was a real man, why don't you want to be with a real man?
I don't know what Huda learned. She just writing stuff down.
That's true. I ain't gonna hold you. Tic-tac-toe all over the paper and stuff.
Chris lists a lot of positive adjectives about her. He calls her a great mom.
You never
we
seen
can
her?
we can say that. Sure, we can say that. And she's, he's basically thinks that it's great that she came on to the show and she sacrificed time with her kid in order to do something positive.
Really, nothing to do with him, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, 4th place, Iris and Pepe.
Yes. Now, hold on. Let me talk about them just for a second.
Sure.
Out of all the best dressed, if you had to pick the best dressed person, you would pick who?
Alandria.
Me too, right? I think Alandria was the best dressed person. I really like that dress. I really, especially with the way her hair is and things like that.
She looked amazing.
It was amazing.
She was gorgeous.
But the best couple that looked the best to me was Iris and Pepe. I think to them, it was a collaborative of them looking together. I think if Nick would have had a black blazer instead of like the crazy gold and all that stuff.
But it was like trying to match.
No. It matched. It matched. I think for me, to me,
just wasn't your taste.
It's just too busy. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm like, it's taken away from Alandria in my eyes. I'm like, it should be black with gold accessories. A gold watch, a gold bracelet, maybe a gold button here and there, gold cufflinks. I know how to dress. Don't be fooled by this uniform. But my thing is, I think collaboratively, Iris and Pepe look amazing together.
They did.
Amazing together.
They did. 3rd place was Chris and Huda.
Yeah, okay.
2nd was Nick and Alandria.
Yes.
1st, our winners, Amaya and Brian.
And what did Amaya do? And this is what I'm talking about.
She got the zoomies.
We should never be saying that about an adult.
Honestly, I feel like when it comes to Amaya, I think that you can either enjoy her personality or you don't. I think that there are things that I think she could pull back in ways, but at the end of the day, like she said, if she's not the book you want to read, then don't open the book. So Amaya's going to be Amaya, and I think that she absolutely should be. I don't think she should dim her light for anybody.
Dim it a little bit.
And I think that when it comes to this show, she's the type of personality you need for the show. You don't want boring people. You don't want people who aren't expressive. Like you need someone who's going to get the party going. And so I think that she's a perfect fit. If it ain't your cup of tea, don't drink it.
No, don't tell me what to drink. No, I got tired of the Amaya song. She was like, Amaya and Brian, we are together. It's just like I got tired of it. I got tired of the screaming. I got tired of her running around in circles. We looking around. Brian got to chase this girl around. Where is she going? We all thought she was jumping in the pool, but no. It's like Amaya got the zoomies. It's like that's never cute to say about an adult. But that's why I think Amaya's kind of putting on a little bit, kind of just putting a little sauce on it. But I'm happy that they won out of this group of people that was left.
Yep. So they are given envelopes.
Yeah.
And the person with 100K can decide to keep it or split the money. Amaya gets $0.
Yeah.
Brian gets 100,000, and he decides to split the money with Amaya.
And if you cherish your life, you better split that money, Brian.
And I thought it was really nice, especially the way that they connected over their cultures and their family, and just how important and impactful this money would be for the both of them and their family. So I thought it was really nice how he kind of mentioned that of knowing, we both come from humble upbringing, so this is actually means a lot to both of us. So it was nice.
Well. I think Brian, it means more to you actually, because Amaya don't need your little measly 50K. Amaya got deals waiting for her, commercials waiting for her, and things of that nature. That 50K go be literally a penny in the bucket. I think that 100K. That could have helped you, bro. That could help your mother with her health things, prayers to your mom and your family and things of that nature. But I just want to see somebody keep the money. You know what I'm saying? We never seen anybody keep the money yet. I just want to see what that looks like. But I'm happy that they split it, and then they are happily ever after.
So we learned they're gonna have a reunion on my birthday.
Actually, on her birthday, August 25th.
August 25th, Virgo season.
Yes.
So they jump in the water. I was a little bit nervous for Alandria.
I
saw her head go down. I was just like, is somebody going to get Alandria? And Nick came to the rescue, and Huda was on his back as well.
First of all,
and that was my thing when Huda was talking about I got my friends and I love y'all and all this type of stuff. I was thinking to myself, maybe I'm a little bit of a mean girl a little bit, but I was thinking like, girl, we here with our men. I ain't trying to be friended up right now. I'm trying to be with my man right now.
Huda just does things that just make you like it just turn you off. Like the time where Iris and Pepe kiss and things like that, and then she says it's my turn, and then Pepe just looked at her like, why are you standing next to us?
Why are you so close?
And then that's when and listen here, Alandria, I know what it's like in the sense of Alandria knows she can't swim. Alandria knows she can't tread the water, things like that. But everybody jumped in the water. They probably told everybody to jump in the water. And she said, you know what? I'm surrounded by people. Somebody going to see me. And I mean, as soon as she touched the water, her body went literally down.
But I think it was her dress. Because I think her dress was like metal or something. I don't know.
So basically,
but it looked tight and heavy. Like it looked like it might have been her dress.
Listen, all the above, guess what? I would have jumped right next to Chris.
Yeah.
Right? Chris is 6'8". He just literally stand above the pool. I would have, she jumped too much in the middle. I would have been right on Chris' back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She should have slid on it.
Yeah, but I'm happy that Alandria is safe and still with
Me
us.
too.
You know what I mean? Anything else?
No, I had such a fun season with all of you guys.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we got to kick it and hang out. And we've got Beyond the Villa, which we are going to review, and Big Brother. So stay tuned and don't leave us just yet. So.
Now listen here, to everybody who's waiting, Beyond the Villa will come out tonight as well for us, right? Big Brother's going to come out tomorrow, right? Also, for our Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, we are recording that as well. Look for that tomorrow, right? We got a large slate, and we got to space it out because we got to be able to give people time to watch it and things of that nature. But Blair sentiments is 100% my sentiments. I enjoy reviewing it with Blair, with y'all.
Yeah.
Was this a good season? No. But I enjoyed talking about how bad it was, the twists and turns of it with y'all, with my wife. Even when my wife wasn't here working and things like that, with Blair Bear and things like that, you know, you may see Blair Bear again. Maybe you may not see me, and you may see Blair with Blair Bear. I don't know. I don't think Blair likes Blair Bear. But all the above.
She always coming for my spot.
That is true. But thank y'all. Make sure that y'all subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Stick with us for Beyond the Villa and get us to 9,000. And matter of fact, get us to 10,000. I think we can get to 10,000 by the end of the year. And we see y'all.
Bye.